talking about the expectations that we have for all students at Y Camp and also about the supplies that you're going to need to take with you. When you get to school on Thursday, come like you normally do, ride the bus or walk, and come to your classroom and put your lunch in the box that we've got and listen to your teacher. They're going to need to do several things like take attendance and make sure that everyone's got a lunch, etc. And they'll have you use the restroom before you go, and then they'll take you and your stuff onto the bus. They're going to give you an assigned seat so that we have room available to put your stuff. On the bus, we have the same rules and expectations at camp that we do in school. Everyone needs to stay seated the whole time. We're not going to be switching seats or anything like that. And we need to be using a quiet, appropriate voice. I know that you are going to be excited, but you've got to make sure that you're going to just sit and talk quietly with the people around you, or just look out the window. We're not going to be taking anything electronic with us. And I don't want any book or paper to doodle on or anything like that because all that stuff that you bring has to be kept track of and it has the potential to be ruined. So don't bring those kind of things. It's only an hour bus ride and you'll be just fine talking with your friends or looking out that window for that time. 30 years of classes have done this trip and taken a bus ride without needing anything extra to entertain themselves. So I know you guys can do it too. At camp, you'll find your group. And in your group, I need you to be better than your best. This is a new place. It's going to be busy. It's going to be hectic. There's going to be all sorts of fun and exciting things to do. But in order to make it work, you need to be on your absolute best behavior. You need to always stay with your group and your adult leader. You should never, ever go off by yourself. While camp is a lot of fun, it can also be dangerous because we'll be in the woods near some railroad tracks and near a river. So if there's ever a time that you do need to go somewhere, you need to go like to the bathroom or to the nurse, talk to your adult leader, and they will take you and somebody else with them. At camp, we follow the rule of three, which means that we're always traveling in at least a group of three. That way, if someone gets hurt, one person can stay with that person and the other person can go for help. In the dining room, when you're going to eat dinner and breakfast and lunch, you're going to be with your group. There's going to be a table marked off for your group, so you'll sit with them. Camp serves family style, which means it's not like a lunchroom where you get individual trays of food. Instead, someone, a hopper, is going to have to go up and bring a whole tray of, let's say, corn dogs to your table. You'll take one and you'll pass it to the next person. And you need to make sure that everyone gets food before you take seconds. Maybe there's a bowl of peaches. Same thing. You need to make sure that everyone gets peaches before you take seconds. And usually there is. No one's ever complained about the food at camp or not getting enough. There's always plenty. We're all going to be in the dining hall and it's going to be fun and exciting. You get to see your friends. We still need to be using quiet voices. We're not going to be shouting. We're not going to be running across the room. This isn't really a time to go talk to your friend on the far side because what we need to do is we need to eat, we need to get fuel, and then we need to go because we've got to stay on schedule. Otherwise, it might mean missing out on the next fun activity that you have right after the meals. You're going to have a lot of adults who you may or may not know at camp. You're going to have all the teachers there. There's going to be a lot of parent and parent chaperones, and there will also be Y Camp staff there too. Y Camp staffers are either college students or they're adults whose job it is to work at camp. If there's an adult, regardless of who it is, that gives you an instruction or a direction, please do it. Please do that task without questioning. They might be telling you to do something to keep you safe and they don't have time to explain why. Or they might be needing to make a change to your schedule. Trust in your leaders and be flexible with your leaders. They are going to do their best to get you to where you need to be on time and safely. At nighttime, when you go to the cabins, boys will have a separate cabin circle and girls will have their separate cabin circle. And you need to stay in your cabin circle. We're not going back and forth. There are going to be kids in your cabin that weren't in your group, and that's okay. And there's also going to be another mom or a dad in your cabin too that wasn't your cabin or your group leader. Regardless of who it is, always make sure you're listening to them in the cabins and you're getting yourself ready for bed. It's your job to do the things that you need to do before bed, like brush your teeth or use the bathroom or comb your hair, whatever. We're going to tell you when you need to be in your cabin, and we're going to tell you when you need to be in your bed. And then a little bit later, we'll tell you when to turn the lights off. It'll be after 9, probably about 10 o'clock. If it's time to go to sleep, go to sleep. Your body needs rest. Otherwise, you're going to be super cranky in the morning and it's going to be really rough. So when it's time to sleep, go to sleep. On Friday, when we're going home, you're going to get all your stuff packed up and ready to go. You're also going to clean the cabins too. And then when the buses come, you're going to put your stuff on the same bus in the same seat, and we have the same expectations. Now, there might be open seats, and you could move there once we've taken attendance, and it's okay with the teacher. The buses are all going to go back to Carlisle Elementary, and you'll wait in the old gym for your normal bus to come. If you're a Hartford person, you need to listen for where that Hartford bus is. A bus will take you back to Hartford, and you can walk home like normal from there. If it rains, we're going to be staying outside for as long as we can. So if it's just a light sprinkle, we're still going. Make sure that you've got clothes to wear to camp that can get wet and muddy. We do have inside activities if we need them, but we don't like to use them if we don't have to. So if it's a downpour, we'll come in. But if it's a light drizzle, we're still going to try and do everything outside. So make sure you're planning accordingly. The supplies that you're going to need at camp are on the list that'll go home with you, and they're also on the website. At camp, we sleep on mattresses, and they're foam mattresses about 4 inches thick, and that's all there is to them. So you're going to have to bring your own sleeping bag and a pillow, or you could just bring a blanket and a sheet and a pillow. That would work too, but they're not like mattresses in a hotel that come pre-made. You got to bring your own. Make sure to bring a change of clothes. You don't want to wear the same clothes on Friday that you did on Thursday because there's a pretty good chance that they're going to be wet or muddy or dirty. So bring something that you can change into. Look at the weather. You might need to bring a jacket or a sweatshirt, even on days that would be warm because it can be cold in the morning. So plan appropriately if that's something that you need. You're going to want to bring some sort of something to sleep in, some sort of change of clothes. You do not want to sleep in your clothes that you wore on Thursday. Because again, if you went canoeing, maybe they got wet, you're going to need something to change into for bedtime. Bring all of your wash-up gear, which is like your toothpaste and your toothbrush and your washcloth, deodorant, whatever it is that you need to bring. They do have showers at camp. If you want to take a shower, though, you're going to have to bring your own towel and all of your own shower supplies. None of that's provided. Maybe think about bringing like a plastic bag, like from Fairway, in case your stuff gets wet. That way, if you have wet pants, you can put your wet clothes into the plastic bag and it'll keep everything else dry. You're going to need a sack lunch for Thursday. You do not need to bring a drink. Just use your water bottle. Try to put it in a paper sack so that we can throw it away. I don't want lunch boxes or anything like that because everything that we bring gets thrown away. So we do not take any food or crumbs back into the cabins. Food in the cabins is a bad idea. For horses, you have to make sure that you have a pair of long pants and a pair of tennis shoes or boots. You cannot ride a horse if you do not have long pants and shoes that cover your entire foot. Flip-flops and Crocs are not allowed. And while we're on the topic, good footwear is very important for the rest of camp. You need a pair of comfortable shoes or boots that you can run around in all day and get muddy and wet and dirty. Don't wear sandals and don't wear slides or slide on shoes while you're at camp. You can do those maybe in the cabins at night, but not when we're running around doing fun activities. There are some things that you cannot bring to camp. Do not bring food or snacks or anything other than the lunch for Thursday. Snacks and food will have to be left in the cabins, and because we're in the wood, food just invites critters like raccoons and bugs and insects into your cabin and into your bunk, which you do not want. So please, no food. Also, do not bring your cell phone. Don't bring a portable gaming system. Don't bring anything electronic. Don't sneak it in your pocket. Don't put it in your bag. I don't want it at all. Things like that can get broken. Things like that can get wet. Things like that can get stolen. The cabins are not locked and they are not being watched. If it's lost and stolen and broken, then it's your responsibility. I am telling you now that I do not want any sort of those things at camp. So do not bring them. Pack everything in two bundles. One bundle would be your sleeping bag or your sheets that are rolled up with your pillow, and the other is your sports bag with all of your clothes and supplies. Maybe think about putting your stuff in a trash bag so that it stays dry just in case it rains while we're at camp. Those are the things that you need and the things you need to do when we're at camp. If you can follow these directions, if you can be better than your best behavior, then everyone is going to have a really exciting and a really fun experience at camp.